Hello, everyone, and welcome into this latest edition of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter from Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aidan Champion, getting back into football talk because it is just around the corner. Fall camp and going to be a big season for Michigan State. Obviously, the expectation is that Michigan State, at the very least, makes a bowl game. It's a must. Got to make a bowl game. This season has not made one since 2021. Very unlike this program, considering especially what they did throughout the 2010s, Mark D'Antonio's tenure there, and they were for a while. I mean, you had to go through Michigan State to win the Big Ten. Not the case anymore. Um, and this program needs to bounce back from really being. Let's be frank here. They're a laughing stock. Um, but they can quickly change that. Have already started to show signs of improvement with recruiting. Now you just got to see the effect on the field. And I think we will. I think Michigan State will, at the very least, make a bowl game this season. Once you get to that point, then we'll start talking about what they need to do next. Because it's something you got to build on. And it's not something I think is going to happen overnight where you become a 10-win team,
Mhm.
but it's going to be baby steps, piece by piece, brick by brick. And hence the the standard of merely just making a bowl game. Um, but fall camp is going to be interesting because you got a lot of narratives going on. Just like with any other team, really. I mean, you've got some returning guys, some very key returning guys, particularly on offense, I think. I think as good of a defense as you need to win, a lot of the success this season's gonna ride on the offense and how Aiden Childs does, how his receivers do, and if everyone who's expected to step up and take a leap, if they're able to do that, and that starts in fall camp. Really, it started back in the winter, back in spring ball, but fall camp now, everyone getting back together, and that's where things are gonna start ramping up. That's where you're gonna see if guys made improvements in the summer months between spring ball and fall camp, where you're gonna find out who's starting where. I know some of those decisions are they almost get to be game time, but fall camp does ultimately decide a lot of the depth chart, and so there are some key position groups that we'll be looking for in terms of who prevails as the first string option. I want to talk today about the running back position, even though it might not necessarily be a battle. I think it's going to be more so a running back by committee kind of thing. Um, Kind of like it was last year with Nate Carter and K'Ron Lynch Adams. Those two really split a lot of the load. But now you've really got, I think, three legitimate options. You can throw a fourth in there, and I'll get to who I think that is. But I think the front runner is probably Elijah Toliver. Transfer from Sacramento State was an all Big Sky honorable mention. Um, 950 rushing yards, I believe, last season for Sacramento State. Yeah, and seven rushing touchdowns. What you've got there is veteran experience, but and I think that's what gives him the edge because then you've got Makai Frazier and uh, Brandon Tullis, who uh, neither of them saw much action last season. Each of them only had 7 reps, 7 carries, and that I mean, yeah, the fall camp in the off season. I mean, that's when you look for the winners of these position battles, and they They certainly matter, um, but experience matters a lot too. And those two guys don't have much of it. Toliver does. We heard good things about him back in spring ball, and I think he's going to be their starting running back. I've been saying all offseason, I think he should have tried to get at least one other running back in the portal, just more experience, and maybe a guy from a bigger school, maybe a guy who was even a backup somewhere, who at least got a taste of Power Four competition. But this is what you've got, and Toliver, I think, is your guy. But again, I anticipate it being running back by committee. Um, Jonathan Smith said that he likes to run multiple running backs, and again, we saw it last year. So I think they're going to utilize those three. Those three are the ones that stand out. And I think Brandon Tullis and Mekhi Frazier are going to make it tough on Toliver. They're going to make it tough on each other. And ultimately, it's going to help all three of them get better. Um, so even though you don't have a big, you don't necessarily have a first or second team all Big Ten type of guy back there, you've got options, three different options, and you can find a lot of success that way. Give guys breathers, and then boom, I mean, just switch in and out, and just keep hammering the defense with different bodies, different skill sets from all three guys. The fourth guy I was going to mention, Jace Clarissio. Jace, Jace Clarissio, the freshman, in-state guy, or local guy, uh, hometown kid, East Lansing High School. Jace Clarissio definitely, I mean, he was a huge get. Uh, was a late commit, flipped his commitment, Michigan State. Um, could see some action. I don't know to what extent when you've got three other guys in front of you who have experience, but um, it's just another option there. And I still think Clarizio, I mean, should he stay at Michigan State for the long run, definitely could be your guy in the backfield in a couple of years or so. Um, Especially when, they haven't been, after him, they haven't found much success with recruiting running backs. Definitely something they need to work on as much success as they had with recruiting, especially last month. Really only last month. I mean, other than that, you had four commits going into June, and then you've had one since. But um, running back is just a position you have not been able to nail down. So, absolutely needs to be an emphasis. But that's why a guy like uh, Jace Clarissio will matter a lot for the future. So, definitely need to keep him around. And if you can keep him, Mekhi Frazier, Brandon Tullis around, that could be great in a year or two when all three of them have got the experience, and you could potentially down the road see something really special in that room. But it all starts this season, and as of now, I think it's going to be Toliver taking the majority of reps. But again, I think they're going to be distributed between him, Brandon Tullis, and Mekhi Frazier. So um, that's what I'm looking for. Running back position, we'll get into more in future episodes. But uh, but yeah, fall camp almost here. Almost here. Football almost back, people. and I am excited. I hope you are as well. I also hope you're all having a great week and are looking forward to the weekend. I will talk to you more about Michigan State athletics next time. Thanks.